It's Pastor Chuck Blair here. It is great to have you joining me this morning. And I'm joining you from this room, and it's right beside the place where we do adult church every morning at 10:30 a.m. on Sundays. And it goes out all over the world, and it's great that you are joining me here today. So, looking forward to having a little conversation for you with you. Sorry. So, kids, let's have a little talk. Today, I just want to talk about the law of love and how that works. So kids, how many times does life feel like this? Maybe you could shake your finger with me. It feels like there's all these rules. We got to follow all these rules. And we go to school and we play soccer, and there's always rules, 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 rules. And those can get to be kind of hard sometimes. I know that. And it's important to remember, like, what fun is a game? What fun is life if there aren't rules? I mean, I imagine, kids, that you have a favorite sport out there, something you really like to do, or maybe even it's a game, like a video game or something. And just imagine for a second there were no rules. I mean, how fun is that? Just maybe we can make a little grumpy face right there. You know, it's how fun is that when there's no rules? Like, it's no fun when there's no rules. And we all know people who play games and who don't follow the rules, and that's no fun either. So rules actually, believe it or not, are kind of important. They kind of matter. And kids, do you know what? There are some laws that are far more important than any other, the ones that we really have to pay attention to. And today I want to tell you a story about those laws. So, kids, we're going to start. I just want to show you these pictures before I do my reading here. It's a story about this guy here, and he has some questions, for Jesus over here. And he's like, look, life has all these different choices, all these different ways we can go. Well, how do we figure out what rules to follow? And this is what Jesus answers him. So I'm going to read that to you, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit. Sometimes it seems like there are so many rules. Boy, kids, we know that, right? It can seem like a lot of rules. It's often hard to know which ones are most important. In Jesus' time, people argued about which rule was the most important to God. One of the elders, bent over with age and wisdom, in other words, he was an old man, heard Jesus teaching his followers. The elder thought to himself, wow, because he heard Jesus. Jesus was a really good speaker. He's like, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. The elder leaned on his cane, and kids, maybe you can do it with me, just leaned on his cane, scratched his white hair. I don't have any hair to scratch, but scratched his white hair, and said to Jesus, you seem very nice and very wise. Tell me, I want to know, what's the most important rule of all? Now, kids, we'll just stop there for a second. So just the beauty of that, right? Here he is, and he's asking Jesus, like, well, Jesus, like, oh, I got a picture even closer there. He's saying, Jesus, what's the most important rule of all, the most important rule that you would tell people they should know? And that's a great question. Jesus has a wonderful answer. There are two, Jesus replied. The first is to love God with all your heart. Kids, you can put your hand on your heart. With all your soul, and here you can rub all around your heart and your lungs. And with all your mind, you can point up here to your head, with all your strength. So with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. The second is to love everyone as much as you love yourself. So Jesus is saying, look, every day we spend time taking care of ourselves. That's great, because that's the way that, we show a little love for ourselves. Jesus is saying, love other people that much, so you're taking care of them too. The elder nodded. You are right, he said. The greatest gift we can offer to God is to love him and love his children. Now, kids, that's so beautiful, right? And what I would add on to is this beautiful thing. Notice that the old man, he said, tell me the one commandment. And Jesus goes, okay, I'm going to tell you the one most important thing. And then he says, there's two. Well, why does he say it that way, kids? Well, because the two commandments are one and the same. If you want to know how to love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength, if you want to know how to do that, learn to love other people. When we love God, we love other people. When we love other people, we're learning how to love God. It's all one and the same. So, kids, that's the law of love. That's the big rule. So, kids, this is my wish for you, that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week ahead, and that you remember the most important law of all, which is the law, my friends, of love. Amen. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to do a little prayer with you kids, and then a little blessing, and then we'll close. So our prayer. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and bring you peace and bring you home. Amen. So kids, wishing you a great week where you just have a lot of fun with everybody, and a lot of fun no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. And that you remember, it's all about love, learning to love with our heart, learning to love with our soul, learning to love with our mind, learning to love with our strength. Have a great week ahead, kids. Take care. We'll see you next week.